Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too. Continuing with the teachings of Joseph Campbell, as we have another day to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. In his teachings about the inner reaches of outer space, one of the things we notice is that all myths have a certain commonality because all human beings have a certain commonality. There's a biology that's the same for every human being. People all around the world get pregnant in the same way. The baby gestates for 9 months. When the babies come out, regardless of the culture, they go through the same process of rolling over, lifting their head. The first tooth comes in at a certain time. They start to crawl, stand, walk at the same time. And all the organs are in the same place. Everybody across the planet has the same number of bones, the same number of eyes, the kidney, the liver, and so forth. Everything's in the exact same place. So there's a species-wide disbursement of similarity at the physical level. Psychologically, everybody sees the planet turn on its axis, so the sun seems to go up and go down. Everybody experiences the seasons. Everybody understands the dualisms of life and death, hot and cold, right and wrong, win and lose, and so forth. And so our imagination is fueled by the organs, and the personal dream is what happens within your own skull. But mythology is like the societal dream. It's the expression of the people's psychology and the bioenergetic underlyings of that. And of course, in the yoga system, they talk about the first 3 chakras as being the lower chakras, because first there's survival, the innocent voraciousness that does whatever it's necessary to stay alive. Matsya Nyaya, big fish eats little fish. And then the procreative and generative urgencies in the pelvis leap and claim everything. And then the 3rd chakra is where you plunder and you dominate and you put your power out there and you consume and possess. And unfortunately, those 3 haven't changed, what I call the carnivorous, the lecherous, and the malodorous. But we haven't learned how to derive a new morality for the global situation that is now unfolding. And we certainly don't have the epiphanies of divinity, the raptures, and the aesthetics that would bring if we could open ourselves to the wonder of being, the rapture of revelation. And nor have we brought our social order in accord with the harmonies of nature. In fact, we've done a lot to ruin the harmony and order of nature. Nonetheless, what happens when you're practicing yoga, whether it's sudden or gradual, is a transfer of your mind from temporal, mere locus of time, to the eternal. That means now you're on the inward path, the Marga. You're following your Dharma. It's a word that initially described following the tracks of an animal back to its lair, and once you know its patterns, you can caption it. So you want to follow your own footprints back to your own Atman, to the inner light inside yourself, where that intuition will shake your heart. And then you will know that your outward life is just going to be a portrayal of your way of recapturing your memory of the original one. So when you conform your own Dharma to nature, you're supported by the universe. It's been a couple of thousand years since some of the teachings have put us at war with nature, not in accord with nature. And so it's for each one of us to find what this nirvanic state is, which is called kaivalya in yoga, the unconditioned, isolated perfection of the timeless, invisible spirit, universal spirit, which rests in a state of omniscience and peace, perfection, wholeness, and of course love. So once you understand this, your mind won't be trapped in phenomenality alone. And when you are, of course, that's when you seek salvation or restoration, to try to get the deluded mind back to its original intuition and identification with the eternal. And then you start realizing that words like the promised land or the earthly paradise, they're always equivalents in mythological terminology. And so we follow the chakra system, and I hope you understand to move your energies psychologically, transform yourself, and ascend your vital energies from the first chakra, which is the primal holding on to life and the urgency to feed and assimilate, to your second chakra, where sexuality is awakened. If you can remember what that was like in your adolescence, that's the energy's special standing place. And then the third, where your power and mastery start developing, and you take pride in achieving and being responsible. You control, if you're smart, that insatiable need to conquer, plunder, subjugate. But then you get to the heart, and all of a sudden now you realize that survival, pleasure, and economics, you rise above the anus, the pelvis, and the navel, and now you recognize other beings with compassion. Then the fifth chakra is where you start to turn your energies inward, searching for the deeper truth, no longer interested in reforming the world, but reforming yourself. And that leads you to the sixth chakra, which is above and behind the eyebrows, and that's where you behold the image in a radiant way. And then finally you get to the seventh chakra of self-transcendence, where you behold the image, or the beheld image, and the beholding mind dissolve in a blaze of glory or oneness as your dewdrop falls and merges into the sea.